ahead and get started. Grab some coffee, grab some snacks. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Who's awake this morning? Oh, that was sad. Let's try again. Who's awake this morning? Yeah, that's awesome. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Today we have a very special program for you. We have some guests who will be joining us with the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
A round of applause for them. Yeah, right on. So, and we also have a change in our schedule. I'm sorry, can you hear me? We also have a change in our schedule, so our two presenters today will be CalcuQuote and be right back. So, to open up the floor, I'm going to pass it over to Karen. Goodness, hello? I do. Let's try another microphone. Thank you for your patience. All right. To open up our program today, I'm going to introduce Miss Karen, and she will tell you a little bit more about Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. Everyone stand up and give Karen a round of applause.
Right here. Okay, good, great, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and I want to thank 1 Million Cup and the DEC for letting us come in this morning and kind of give you a preview of an event that will be taking place next Wednesday. I run an organization here in town called the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, and we teach entrepreneurship education to students in disenfranchised communities so that they can learn how to build a business. And it is a year-long class taught by teachers in the Dallas and Irving Independent School Districts. And students have the opportunity to spend the year writing, presenting, and defending a business plan. The three young businesses that you will hear, there's actually 4 young ladies because one of them is a partnership. What you will hear this morning is their 30-second sales pitch. That's it. We ask that you, hold any questions till maybe later and maybe get with them and provide them some, feedback. But the one thing we want to do is invite you to our event next Wednesday evening here at the DEC, where they will present their entire business plan and be judged and also compete for up to $1,000 in seed capital. So it's a fun event. We'll have a reception, beer, wine, and hors d'oeuvres starting at 5 p.m. The students will present at 6, and then we will have a dessert reception and celebration afterwards. So we put up signs throughout the deck. You can hit the QR code and just register like that. The event is free. So we encourage you to come and see what our young people in our schools are doing today, because it's really pretty amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the first young lady who is going to present her 30-second sales pitch. Is Maria Garcia with Cutie Skirts. Maria, come on up.
Have you noticed that girls in today's society are starting to dress a little less modest? Us teenagers have a term we like to use to describe them, and that is ratchet. And I have a solution to this problem: cutie skirts. Hi, my name is Maria Garcia, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Cutie Skirts. In order to buy one cutie skirt, all you have to do is go to cutieskirts.com. And you got it, Maria. Where can I buy one? And all you have to do is go to
Take a deep breath and start over.
girls are starting to dress a little less modest. Us teenagers have a term we like to use to describe that, and that is ratchet. I have a solution to this problem, and it is cutie skirts. My name is Maria Garcia, and I'm the CEO and founder of Cutie Skirts. In order to buy your cutie skirt, all you have to do is go to cutieskirts.com, where at the low price of only $24.99, all you have at the low price of $24.99, you just get your customizable skirt, and you're able to build a friendship online through our chat room. And remember, nothing's cuter than a cutie skirt.
Great job, Maria. Pass it back over to Karen.
All right, our next two young ladies are from, and I'm sorry, I forgot to say that Maria is from MacArthur High School in Irving, Texas. Our next two young ladies are from H.W. Longfellow Middle School in Dallas. Their names are Maylin Gonzalez and Adeline Lopez, and the name of their business is Custom Nouvette. So, come on up.
Well, I think somebody's going to have to change first because we're matching, and unfortunately, that's not fashion forward. Much better. Ladies and gentlemen, the rising issue in a fashion-oriented society.
The lack of individualism.
Lucky for you, custom novelty was created exactly for these fashion emergencies.
Hey, that's us.
We are Custom Novelty. The fashion industry is rapidly evolving.
And we want to create a new realm of self-expressionism.
And create an imprint in the world with your ideas together.
We were defined by the people for the people.
And we are the next premium brand.
We take care of the printing so you can keep on dreaming.
Don't you wish you're a retailer? Custom clothes like me.
I'm Maylin Gonzalez.
I'm Adeline Lopez.
And we are Custom Novelty.
One more round of applause.
And our final presenter today is Annalyn Martin. She is from MacArthur High School as well, and the name of her business is Soft Catch.
Imagine this ball coming at your chest at speeds up to 90 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour in softball or baseball. It can cause heart effects such as commotio cordis or even cardiac arrest. My solution to this problem is Soft Catch. My name is Annalyn Martin, and I'm from MacArthur High School, and I am the CEO and founder of Soft Catch. Now, you can go to our website and purchase our protective shirt on softcatch.com, and our protective shirt is one dry fit compacted chest shield shirt that can be sold at a low price of $99.99. Now, it is important to protect what is really important, which is the heart, which is the most vital, important part of the body. Now, remember, at the heart of every win, Soft Catch.
So if you want to hear their full presentations, please join us next Wednesday night here at the DAC on June 15th. Registration is free, no charge. We just want you to come and help support our young people today. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for letting us present this morning.
Thank you so much. What a perfect way to kick off 1 Million Cups. My name is Lauren Finnegan. I'm one of your city coordinators along with Christy and Edna. So if you do have any questions later, please come find us. Thanks for joining us today. We have a really great program ahead of us. And a little bit of background information on 1 Million Cups, educational program produced by the Kauffman Foundation to connect and engage local entrepreneurs while connecting startups and helping build them on a grassroots level. We'll have 2 presenters today, 6 minutes to pitch, 20-minute Q&A. And if you do have any questions, please raise your hand high. Christy will take the mic around since we are filming for our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe on our Facebook. Without further ado, we'd also like to give a big thank you to our vendors, Kurtu, for providing the delicious treats each week. Yes, Shade Tree Coffee Roasters for keeping us caffeinated. And then a big thank you to the Deck for always being a wonderful host and venue. A big round of applause for everyone. And we'd like to get started with Chintan. So please, everyone stand up, give a big round of applause.
Thanks, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Chintan Sutaria, and I'm the founder and CEO of CalcuQuote. And what CalcuQuote does is we are a quote management system for electronics contract manufacturers. That's the people that put those parts on top of circuit boards in every electronic device you've ever seen in your life. We solve 2 very important problems for that industry. The first part is that today, when a contract manufacturer wants to come up with a price that they should charge their customer, they have entire teams dedicated to looking up every single component in a bill of material that goes into that circuit board assembly. Well, that takes days or weeks sometimes, and it's a lot of effort just to figure out whether there's a part available in the marketplace and how much it costs, and what are the terms of purchase and things like that. The second part of the problem is they have to estimate labor, meaning how much time is it going to take to put this circuit board assembly together. And that can also be a very inaccurate process that leads to some problems. If you bid too high to the customer, like any business, if you bid too high, the customer will walk away and go to your competitor. If you bid too low, then the customer will say, great, good price, and they'll give you the business, but you'll lose money on every order that you build for them. So that's where CalcuQuote comes in. CalcuQuote has a few different things that help resolve this process end to end to make time savings a possibility and accuracy a possibility. So on the materials side, what we do is very similar to what Kayak did for the airline industry. You no longer have to go around to American Airlines and Delta and United to shop for flights and what the flight times are. You can just go to one website and see all your options in a single page. That's what CalcuQuote does on the materials side. On the other side, the labor side, we have a very accurate algorithm that helps estimate labor and overhead allocations so that you can actually get a good, consistent margin and a good, predictable margin so you can know when you should win business or when you should turn it away. So, what exactly is CalcuQuote? Well, we're an end-to-end quote management system that handles everything from when a customer comes to a contract manufacturer to ask for a quote and capturing those requirements. We help them come up with a price, meaning materials, labor, overhead, and markup, and taking risk into consideration there as well. And we help them follow up with the customer because a quote done is a cost incurred, but a quote won is profit earned. So we help with all 3 parts of that process. Oh, sorry. The other thing is we're also working on, in the future, helping customers with procurement. Our customers have already come to us and said, you priced this bill of material for me, now help me buy everything. We're helping with that. We're also helping with third-party integration, data analytics, and downstream, we also expect to be able to serve other industries with a similar algorithm and a similar model on the materials side. So, how big is this opportunity? How many of you have heard of contract manufacturing before? Okay, so a few hands going up. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but that doesn't mean it's not a huge thing, right? I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars every year spent, and sometimes trillions of dollars if you look at the global economy. This is how every electronic item that you've ever seen gets made. So it's definitely a huge industry, and we anticipate just with our current business to be able to address a huge chunk of annual recurring revenue. But there's also a lot of downstream opportunities. So we're just getting started on the quoting side for the EMS industry. But that doesn't mean that we stop there. That's kind of our Normandy into Europe, right? We want to get into a position, and quoting is the tip of the spear for us. We can go into procurement, we can go into data analytics, we can go into so many other things, and then use that as a springboard to get into other industries. And that's where we see this growing into a huge, huge opportunity. So let's talk about traction. What have we done so far? Well, in the EMS industry, we've already signed up 6 of the 10 biggest electronics distributors to be a part of our platform. And that's not 6 of the smallest, they're actually 6 of the biggest, right? So that means billions and billions of dollars already being able to port through our system. We've also integrated into an industry-leading ERP system. So these ERP systems basically help handle accounting and purchasing and inventory and everything for these customers. Now they're tying into us and not doing the quoting themselves. They're actually recommending to use CalcuQuote. On the other side, here's some basic metrics for you. They probably don't mean a lot to most of you, but 12 million queries already returned and selected through our software. So that means people are actually actively using it. We have customers. We have customers that are on trial. We have a strong sales pipeline. In terms of revenue, we've also experienced month-over-month growth in revenue. We've done a lot of customization work for our customers. So on the implementation side, we do have customization work. We do consulting services, training services, things like that. So overall, we are growing now. And then there's a clear path to profit in the future as well. So we're at this top part right now. This is a laser pointer. No, it's not. Okay. So we're at the top part of this business model right now, but we definitely see opportunities as we go into the future phases of our product to get into transaction fees and pay-per-click marketing for a marketplace and subscription model for data analytics. So how does this fare against what already exists? Oh, okay. How does this compare to what's already in the industry? Well, there's a lot of people out there doing bits and pieces, but nobody's come up with a quote management system completely that addresses the end-to-end process, and that's where it's key differentiator for us. Our customers love that, and so does a lot of the people we've talked to in the industry. We've got a very strong team, but beyond their qualifications is their passion. They're very dedicated to serving our customers and making sure that we meet their needs. And we have a lot of competitive advantages. I mean, I was basically raised in this electronics contract manufacturing industry. I understand it. I had to do quotes in middle school and high school, and I hated it, and that's why I came up with this product. And now we're looking to scale. So we've already got a good process lined up. We're building our sales pipeline, and we're trying to grow. And now we're raising our Series A funding. If you want to talk to me about that afterwards, we can talk. And that is CalcuQuote in a nutshell. Questions?
Hello. All right. We're going to open it up for questions and feedback. So raise your hand and I will bring you the microphone.
Who is your typical contract manufacturer, and what is the typical transaction, and what's your profit from that?
So our typical contract manufacturer that we deal with is usually high mix, low volume. So they're not building iPhones necessarily right now. We're going after the smaller businesses. So we'll go after people that are building prototype runs or very high tech, like some of our customers have built things for the International Space Station and things like that. So that's kind of the target that we started with. That doesn't mean to say we couldn't address the bigger customers. It's just we picked a starting point. And then in terms of profitability per transaction, so right now we're doing a SaaS model. So I don't know what you mean by per transaction there. I guess basically customers subscribe for a monthly, yeah.
Hey, Chintan. Congratulations on your progress. It's really good.
Yeah.
Over the last year, and it looks like you're doing great. So can you talk about the challenge of who your customer? Because I believe this is mostly handled with spreadsheets, and it's kind of hard to knock out a spreadsheet. So can you tell us more what's your value prop to these?
Yeah, definitely. And we get asked this a lot. Even when we talk to customers, they'll say, well, who else should I be talking to if I'm talking to you? And I love it when they ask that question because, yes, if they don't ask that question, our biggest competitor is an Excel spreadsheet and actually in one case, somebody doing it on pen and paper, right? That's not a good scenario to walk into because that means they're not open to change. But any customer that we talk to, they definitely recognize that there's significant improvements. And what I mean by that is in Excel spreadsheets, we've worked with customers to migrate from the spreadsheet. They'll have formula errors and things like that. I definitely will brag about myself saying I know Excel really well. And I actually go back to our customers during the proof of concept phase and we'll say, hey, thanks for sending that spreadsheet over. By the way, you've been calculating your labor wrong for the past 5 years. So that's kind of a very easy selling point, right? So yes, it is initially very hard, but once we show them the proof of concept and get those kinds of conversations, they become more trusted advisors than salesmen.
So on the topic of going from Excel into your undoubtedly beautiful system, and since you are an Excel monkey, how do you bridge the gap for someone who has been not calculating their labor right for the past 5 years to someone who's going to go into this beautiful system?
Yeah.
What's the process of that?
Definitely. So one of the things I'll touch on there is it's a soft approach, right? We can't just go in and say you've been doing everything wrong forever, because nobody likes hearing that. But so between one of my coworkers, Stephen, and myself, we both have consulting experience. We've managed change before, so that makes it very easy to go into a customer and use soft hands and convince them that there's a need for change. On the other side, ideal world would be we design CalcuQuote to look just like TurboTax for taxes, right? That's not a jump that most people are willing to make. So if you were to see the application, you'd see a lot of parts of the application still reflect grids in terms of presenting data, even though there's a lot more functionality behind it.
In that one example that you gave, they've been doing it wrong for 5 years, right? If they used you, would that have been taken care of, and how much money would they have saved or
Yeah, so they don't open up their books to us in that way, so I wouldn't be able to quantify it necessarily. But the error we had found was basically they were dividing something twice by itself. So it was basically like a square root of whatever it's supposed to be. So I don't know, a rough ballpark would be they were probably losing out on like $40 to $50 per order. Potentially.
That's real stuff that you can sell, by the way.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, unfortunately they won't give us access to their books, so we can't quantify it as well as we'd like to.
Hi there. I was curious how quickly you can turn your leads into actual clients, and what is the longest term of time you've experienced, and where do you really want to be with that process?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something we're still figuring out, to be honest. So we had one customer that went from looking at the product and signing a contract within 3 hours, and we had another customer that we've been working on since October, and now they are asking for a 2-month trial, and then they're gonna, so it varies hugely right now depending on who the decision makers are and turnover in the organization, things like that. So unfortunately we haven't nailed down a perfect process for that, but what we're hoping to do now is incentivize customers that want to move quicker, and so we've redone our pricing model recently to incentivize that kind of behavior.
What's the biggest objection? So the client that you've been working for, the potential client that you've been working with since October, now on the free trial. What's the challenge that they're facing, and how are you solving it?
So in that situation, it was mostly just they had gone through an acquisition, and so in that situation, basically, it wasn't clear who the real decision maker was. The company we were talking to got acquired by another company, that kind of situation. So it wasn't necessarily that they were like, well, I don't know, I don't want to do this. It was more of, well, let's figure out what's happening in our house first before we go and commit to something that's going to make a fundamental change to how we work with our customers.
Question in the third row.
Sorry, I'll add one more thing to that, which is that customers are very sensitive to this part of the process, so they do want lots of validation before they'll change, because if your pricing algorithm goes off, then all of a sudden your win ratio goes down and your profitability goes down, and that becomes a dangerous game to play. So it does take proving it out.
I don't remember your competitive analysis. I don't recall your competitive analysis. Your competitive analysis chart, I didn't memorize that. Would someone like a Flextronics not have some kind of tool like this that they can just... Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Yeah, so the question was competitor analysis. Would somebody like Flextronics have an in-house tool? I'm assuming they do, right? So we've talked to one of the tier 1 companies already. They actually approached us and said, hey, we heard about you, let's talk about it. And when we talked to them, it was funny in that they told us that they operate their quote models at division level, and the division that we were talking to basically used spreadsheets and pen and paper. That was the customer that used pen and paper.
I will try to speak into the microphone very still. What do you feel is your biggest business challenge internally in your company?
Internally, I think right now probably the biggest, well, I guess it depends on your definition of internal, because even customer feedback is internal for us now. But I think really systemizing a lot of the onboarding process. So up till now, it's been great where I could personally be involved, or we could have somebody on our team be personally involved in onboarding and training a customer. So I'll give you an example. This morning I was on the phone with a customer training one of their new employees, and it took an hour of my time. We want to turn that into an online course and streamline it and that kind of thing. And it's definitely a balance, right? Because we have to make sure we don't automate it so much that they don't feel it's personal, but we don't make it so personal that I'm spending 3 hours out of my week talking to the same customer every week.
Could you talk a little bit about your team and how you guys are arranged? Is everybody pretty on board, or are there still other commitments involved? Where are you headed?
Definitely. So core team here in Dallas is 3 full-time people, 1 part-time person. And basically we've covered me being the CEO. I should go back to that slide if I can. Yeah, there's our handsome faces right there. Basically, yeah, so we got me with the CEO. I have consulting experience as well as EMS experience. Stephen Berkowitz, who's our COO, he has consulting experience as well as product management experience. So he manages product, feature deployment, things like that. David Pascal, he's our newest team member, does sales. And then Atul Patel, who's our CTO, he's actually been an AngularJS expert for a long time. And we have an offshore development team that basically they were a startup when we were a startup, and it just worked out that we knew each other, and they have a dedicated team for our product that they're in India.
Awesome. The final question is, what can the community do for you?
So we're basically always looking for introduction, feedback. What you guys saw is me working on a pitch deck. We're raising our first round of funding. So that kind of feedback is always really valuable, as well as just talking to me and geeking out about.
Awesome. One more round of applause for CalcuQuote.
All right. There we go. Let me get situated here. Okay. All right, so before we get started with our next presenter, just a quick reminder that we're very active on social media, so please follow us on Twitter. We also have the other Twitter handles up on the board here. And our hashtag is 1MCDAO, so please join the conversation. And also outside, we have a board with events, so please feel free afterwards to write up all of your events that you have coming up. We'd love to share that with the community. All right, next we have Be Right Back. So please, everyone, give a big round of applause and get on your feet. And welcome to the stage.
It sounded like a band. Be Right Back. It's actually gorgeous. Is that the good mic? Can you guys hear us now? So my name is Eder. I actually office out of the deck. Yes, give it up for the deck officers or employees. But this is Josh. She's our co-founder.
Thanks for letting us come out and show this to you. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, we are actually a creative agency by the name of Creative Mind Lab, and we developed this app out of a need to help our customers. So here we are, helping a ton of customers here locally, primarily coffee shops, bakeries, just local businesses grow. We're feeding them a ton of clients, social media management, SEO, all kinds of marketing avenues, but they're not retaining these customers. So out of a need to truly help customers and looking for the right app, we've created what we believe is the only real loyalty app, and that's a bold statement to make. So let me define what loyalty means. Loyalty means allegiance, and this is found in the dictionary. And we believe that what a loyalty app should do is eliminate the need for customers to visit competitors, and it should also create more visitors. It should create increase the frequency of visits for their current customers. And at the moment, we believe no other app is doing it. What they're doing instead is they're creating delayed gratification. So what they're doing is this: customers are coming. Oftentimes they do feel a need to come back because there is a delayed gratification. There is a reward at the end. So you may help them a little bit to make the decision to choose that business instead of a different business. But it's not truly creating that loyalty. Let me explain by talking about John here. So John, he loves coffee. And in the last 2 months, John had visited both Kindred and Oak Cliff Coffee Roasters, which is actually called Davis Street Coffee. Forgive me, all your coffee snobbers. But John, in the last 2 months, he visited both locations 10 times. And because both of those locations have loyalty programs, he earned two free cups of coffee. Now, the question is John really loyal to any of those businesses? And the answer clearly is no, because he went to 2. Though he could have gone to 1 and got 2 free cups of coffee, because at the end of those 10 visits, normal loyalty systems will reward you. He chose to visit 2. So how could this loyalty systems and the current loyalty systems actually make or incentivize true loyalty, which means John is going to visit that one business over and over and over again, and instead of getting those 2 cups of coffee from 2 different locations, he's going to get from 1. How do we do that? We solve that problem with BRB, which is short for Be Right Back, and I'll let Josh really quickly explain how BRB will increase John's number of visits. So John's going to come to that coffee shop more, and he's going to truly be loyal to that one single coffee shop. So go ahead and explain to them how they do that, Josh.
Okay. Well, market research shows time and time again that instant gratification is far superior than delayed gratification. So why are they using delayed gratification when they could use instant gratification? That's what we're going to do. So here's how it works. You walk in, you have the app, or you see that the business is offering the app, and if you sign up right now, get the app, you get 5% off today, right now in this order. You come back tomorrow, you get 10% off. And the app itself will tell you that, and it's a program, and you build up your percentage. Now, of course, we can't just give 5% off forever, but so it does cap, and that's the business can adjust that how they see fit based on their margins for their market. But in the coffee shop industry, for example, you still make a decent margin even if you're getting 20% off. But what you want is more regularity. You want people to be regular. It takes 3 to 4 times to really get someone to be loyal to your business, so much so that even if they had a bad experience, they'll still come back. That's real loyalty. And I was actually talking to my sister who owns a salon. She said she doesn't see a repeat customer have that loyalty until she sees them the 3rd time. She doesn't have many 1 or 2. She has lots of 1 and 2 visits, very few 3, and lots above that. I think the actual numbers are 70 to 80% will show up after the 3rd visit, whereas only about 20% will return after the 1st visit.
And those, some of those numbers we'll show you guys here on some research, but Harvard School of Business, as well as a few other researchers, have shown that if they show up to your business only two times, 1 or twice, there's only about 20% likelihood that they will come back. But as soon as they reach that 4th visit, then it's 80% more likely for them to come back and keep returning. And also we've seen, let me not get ahead of myself, but you guys may be wondering really quick, I'm sure I can see the questions. Let me answer the main question that most people are probably thinking: can a business actually afford to keep giving these percentages? We kind of calculated for a coffee shop, for example, when you do take 10 visits and reward somebody with the 11th visit, at the end of the day, you're giving 100% of a cup of coffee for free. When you choose to do this model, at the 10th visit, you give the 11th, at the 10th visit, you have only given away a cup and a half for free. So you've given half a cup of more. But what you have done, you have brought them back 10 days consecutively in a row, since my accent don't allow some words. But the same system can be used for car wash locations. Instead of doing 5%, they can choose to do 3%. They can choose to do weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. They can choose the percentage, the frequency, as well as the cap. They can cap it at 15%. And if you show up to that same salon, that same car wash every single month on this monthly frequency, you will always get your haircut for 15%. Therefore, not choosing to go another month. We're out of time? We're out of time. We're done completely? Yeah. We got a minute? No?
You're out.
That's it.
Round of applause. I'm going to have both of you share that microphone since that one's volume funky. And we're going to open up for questions and feedback. Just a quick reminder, you are allowed to give comments and feedback as well, so raise your hand high and I'll bring you the microphone.
Great presentation. Is this a white label?
White label?
Yeah, are you doing this as a white label, or are you doing it under your own?
So, as far, can you explain what a white label is? I know that term for SEO, don't know what.
Well, your coffee roaster has the loyalty program, and they download the app under their label?
Oh yeah, I understand. So the app is actually, it's consumer focused, so the business never had to download anything. It's one app for every business, the consumer holds it. Yeah.
The way it works is it's geofenced, so if you have the app, when you show up, it knows where you are.
Question in the back, coming to you.
Yeah, I like the premise. Have you guys looked into the market research of a coffee shop in comparison to like the hair dealer, where location-wise, coffee shops buy more by just convenience of being right next door, whereas if you're getting a haircut, you'll drive around for the best haircut place, the everyday coffee every morning kind of thing. Have you guys looked into the market research of that specifically?
Yeah, so like I said, there's actually one of the researches here shows that businesses are 82% more likely to shop in any business that has a loyalty system. So even for, this applies, they took this research, technology advice, they published this across multiple industries, and they found that the number was 82% more likely that you'll make that drive and you choose to stay at that business, regardless if it's a little out of the way, because there's a system that's going to reward you instantly.
So for like a coffee shop, you think somebody will drive 3 miles out of the way for a cup of coffee because of a loyalty program? I'm just thinking your first start should maybe be like haircuts versus a coffee
Yeah, for the coffee shop, I used to be a general manager of a coffee shop for 5 years.
Yeah.
And even now, people without a loyalty program drive an extra 3 minutes out of the way for a cup of coffee. So what we're trying to do is stop that from happening. People are going to the further away coffee shop because they want a different cup. We're trying to get the ones that, even your local base, the people that are closest aren't necessarily loyal. We're trying to give them that edge to make that person loyal. That's the whole point of that show.
Hey guys, so back to coffee. I love coffee. I am that guy that seeks out coffee shops because of the quality of a cup of coffee, or because of the flavors that they offer, or the friendliness of the baristas. So my question is, does this focus on people who don't have that competitive edge? Somebody who doesn't focus on quality or focus on something that sets them apart as a unique business? Because if I get my haircut at a place and I don't like the haircut, I'm not going to go back there. So I understand the purpose of trying to get someone in the door, but my question is where is your target market? Is it for the people that don't seem to have that competitive edge?
So our goal is that eventually this will become such a standard that every business will want to have it just to stay afloat and compete. Without it, I mean, you're already falling so far behind. So, and then it becomes about who has the better service or who has the better product. But we do want, you know, for the first adopters, there is going to give them a competitive edge. But eventually, it's a combination of the service, the product. This won't solve those scenarios.
Can I do a really quick follow-up off of that? So then, what is the benefit of having the app if everybody else has the app? And so now the loyalty is no longer based on the loyalty program, it's based on the content.
So he's asking, what's the benefit if everyone has the app? Why do you have a competitive edge? Well, that's the problem that I hope for, because at that point, then you can't afford to not have the app, because everyone else has it. If you don't, you're the only one who doesn't have the loyalty. So I hope we get to that problem. That's like my dream.
Let me just piggyback on that. The idea is that it takes 3 to 5 years for a business to create 25% returning customers, and at that point, they're a profitable business. So if you don't hit that 25%, if you go to CMSY, they've done a research, most likely that business will fail. So we're trying to expedite that. So you don't need the whole market. All you need is 25%, a group of people that returns to your business day after day. So at the end of the day, there's plenty of people out there. You just got to get your little tribe, and they'll keep you going forever.
I got a couple of questions here. I'll try and make them concise. One, are you currently operational?
No.
Okay,
We're in development.
2, how far did you forecast in the business affording their percentage off of their most loyal customers?
We think the max should never be more than 20%. And it really depends on each business. But in the coffee shop industry, 20% works. I think 15% works, but as long as you have, because we go in increments of 5, getting to that 3 number is really important, and all you need is 15% for that. And that is only if they're coming back every day, and then if they don't come back a day, then they drop down a percentage, or if they miss a few days.
Okay, going back to David's question on the loyalty piece, your loyalty is only based on price. But you have people like David who go to coffee shops all over the place and try the barista, the drink service, the flavors, all that. Are you building anything into your app based on those loyalty aspects?
There is the ability, so the businesses themselves do have an interface where they do have options of what they can do, for instance, sending out messages to people who haven't visited in a while, things like that. But the standard things that the other things offer, we can do as well and plan to. We're trying to do something that no one else is doing as in addition to those things. Does that answer your question? And also, we can't make a business make great coffee. That's not what we can do, but it doesn't mean that a business that makes great coffee doesn't want a reason to make their customers more loyal. Because to be honest, there's lots of great coffee shops. Just because there's one that has, in someone's view, the best coffee shop, there's 10 more that might find another coffee shop to be better. We're trying to create that edge of people that are sort of on the fence of which coffee shop is my favorite. This is the one that I'm going to go to because I get a discount there.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm not your target because I'm not a loyalty program person at all. I find them confusing and they change and there's, anyway. But as a business model, I'm very curious. I would really think the presentation would benefit from acknowledging the incredibly competitive space you're in. There are several types of loyalty programs. And it's not clear to me. I understand your model's different, but acknowledging who's already there and what they're doing and how they continue to pivot, I think your presentation would benefit from that.
What is the creative agency that you guys have?
Creative Mind Lab, all singular.
Creative Mind Lab, okay. Very good. And then this is kind of a question to you guys and then also maybe to the audience. I drive past maybe 10 Starbucks. I drive past 10 Starbucks to get to the coffee shop that I like. All right? I'll go to Starbucks if there's nothing else that I can find, but I drive far to go to a coffee shop that I enjoy because of the mission of the company, because of the people. So with that question, is there anybody else out there, because I don't know, like me, that will drive past Starbucks to go to a coffee shop that they believe in the mission of the organization, they like the baristas, they like the coffee? Okay. All right, so there's a few. I encourage you guys to talk with all those people who raise their hand.
Yeah. Can I just say, I'm the same way. I'm absolutely the same way. I was at the shop that I used to manage, one of the shops that I used to manage, and I saw a guy there. The next day, I was at another shop, because I like to work in shops. I saw the same guy there, and the third day, I saw the same guy. He was going back and forth. So as many people as there are who are just like us, there are that many more who enjoy going to different places, or they just, on a whim. They don't know why they're choosing a different place. They just went to a different place today. We're trying to take away that sort of split decision and make it a decision, not a split one. Also, we use coffee as an example. Coffee is definitely not the only place that we're marketing this to. And it's not even daily, necessarily just daily. One of the slides mentioned frequency. So different types of businesses can change the frequency. So it can be if you come back within a week, then you stay at this percentage or this level of discount. But if you miss that week, then you'll go down one. But if you're consistent every week or every month, depending on your industry.
Question in the back?
Could you talk about your revenue model and how many customers you need to acquire to be profitable?
Yeah, so we have an advantage because we are a creative agency, so we've been able to keep costs very, very low. Now, what's going to set us apart, what's going to allow us to disrupt the market a little bit is that it is free. There's a free version for both the consumer and the business. And then there's different different levels that can rise or purchase different different tools to help their business grow and data and such. So it's going to be a lot easier for us to grow, right? Because we don't have to compete with other companies that are charging $300 a month. Now this is a $6 billion industry, and there's only about 4 major players out there. So we think there's plenty of room to compete.
Hey guys, again. So I heard you were in development, is that right? So can you tell us about the customer validation you've done to ensure what you're building is what they're going to buy, that the clients are like, yes, I'm going to sign up for this?
That's great. So the great thing is that we do help a lot of customers. We just help a coffee shop quadruple their sales. So they gave me permission to share some numbers. So they're making $400 a day. Now they're making about $2,000 a day. So we've done this by using my company, my marketing services. I'm sorry. So we've been able to sit with a lot of these coffee shops. Both of his locations that he managed 2 locations together. They were both making around $500,000 a year. He's been doing it for 5 years, so we've seen that what's allowed one of his failing coffee shops to become a $500,000 a year coffee shop was creating those 30% returning customers. The moment you hit those numbers, that research is true. You can easily do that. So we think this is the easiest way to do that. We talk to all of our clients who are both small and large. They both love the idea. They don't feel bad with the 20%. They actually feel like that's very reasonable for that industry. So we've talked around, and we talked to consumers, and every single one, we're yet to get one that said they prefer getting an 11 cup of coffee free than getting 20% to 5 to 20% every single visit. So.
All right, the final question, what can the community do for you?
All right, that's a great question. Well, what I have, if Josh has something else, but what I have is, as soon as the app is out, we're going to put in about 5 locations here in the next 2 weeks, a minimal viable option. You can go to Be Right Back and visit that website within a week. Right now, there's a landing page. We're going to launch the full site. Just go and support, check it out, download the app, and become a customer. Send us some feedback. But we would love if you guys could become customers.
Yeah, I mean, just keep an eye out for when we are. This is an extremely new concept. We only started development about a month ago, and the app is almost finished being made. So we're moving very, very fast. We're not wanting to sit around and just wait and see what happens. We did do a lot of research as far as to answer the previous question. We did do a lot of research about the research. We looked into all the research behind what currently exists. And then we did research concepts, market analysis concept about the difference between delayed reward and instant gratification, and feel like there's something missing there. And then we also talked to a bunch of different businesses and polled people and got their responses.
Thank y'all for y'all's time so much.
All right, thanks so much. That concludes our program for today. Please stay in network, and also we're having a tour with the manual of the deck if you've never been here before. And always, please email us, dallas@1millioncups.com. Yes, because we're always looking for sponsors and more presenters. We want to stay involved with you guys, so please shoot us a note anytime. And we'll be here next week, 9 a.m. Thanks, everyone.